All right, here we go. The burnt peanut just ruined Pride Month for Twitter. Oh boy, let's see what this one's about.
So I log on Twitter
because this guy tends to ruin a lot of things for people. He makes so many people angry.
So I log on Twitter this morning and I see that apparently a lot of people are upset with the burnt peanut. A lot of people very angry.
They're always mad
and
at this
it all
guy.
seems to be because of news that the burnt peanut's coming to Fortnite. And now there are people saying stuff like, it's clear that Epic straight up doesn't care about the people who play their game. This is such a slap in the face to any person of color and the LGBTQ plus community as a whole. And so now I'm just looking into this confused. I'm like, wait, why do they hate the burnt peanut? Because like the only thing I'm familiar with is the whole debate about if the burnt peanut is a VTuber or not. I need some context. And the OP wasn't done there, by the way. Got 3,800 likes. And this is just one example. There's a lot of tweets saying similar stuff to this. But the OP continued, said, also doing this during Pride Month is even worse. Genuinely screw you. I'm canceling my crew pass. Muting this now. Showing the canceled subscription. It wasn't done yet, though. Oh, we got Madam Savvy, too. Let's check this out. OP also said, I'm tired of getting harassed in my replies, so I'm not letting anyone reply anymore. Please touch grass. And if me wanting this game I've played for almost 10 years to show they value me and people like me makes me a sucker,
like me?
then
Wait,
yeah, I guess I am one. Dude, they're a company. They're a massive corporation. They're not your friend.
They're also like, you're not the only player in the whole game. See, this is the problem with a lot of these people is that they have serious main character syndrome. They don't understand that there's people that exist in the world that are like not like them. Like,
just want your money.
It's so fucking annoying.
Like, it's like they need a genuine care. Why do we have to explain this anyways? This is like obvious basic stuff. People being parasocial to corporations is crazy. We'll take a look at some burnt peanut clips.
You know what I might do though? Never mind.
Apparently why these people are so mad and some other examples. But first, here's some of the responses that they were so mad about, so offended about before locking the replies like they said. So we have Madam Savvy simply posting good. Another one saying not everything is about the gays, you'll be okay. And then this one that says it's just a peanut, bro. Hold on, let me be sure I'm understanding this correctly, because now that I think about it, the OP said that they were muting the whole post. But then they got mad about the replies. So what do? Mute the post and then just like go to the replies anyway and get mad at them?
They didn't actually mute it, man. They didn't actually do it.
Then we have this account, Tofu Chris, posting Season 3/Runners. Basically, these people collab. I think there might be confusion on the wrong peanut, though. This is
that's like kind of what I want to do. So
we have this response that says, Chris, me and many others are please imploring you to do a background check. The burnt peanut is quite known for being a bigot who repeatedly says slurs and supports discrimination. And especially during Pride Month, someone like this really doesn't have a place in Fortnite. That sounds so silly. It sounds like a joke insult you would say to somebody. Like, dude, you don't even belong in Fortnite. But they're like seriously talking like that. I never thought I'd see someone be like, that person doesn't have a place in Fortnite.
Yeah, that's
crazy. No way, dog. But now it's got me thinking about doing the inverse. Imagine telling someone that they look like they would belong in Dragon Age the Veilguard. That seems like the worst insult ever. We could totally make more of these. Like, hey, bro, you totally look like a Starfield NPC.
Oh my god,
dude, it would be on. That would be actually like
so
hate. That'd be like a hate crime saying that to someone. Another person responding to the burnt peanut Fortnite news says, "Isn't he canceled for being racist?" Response says, "We just lying now?" And they say, "I'm genuinely asking. I know there's a few streamers like this, but can't remember if it was this one who was being racist." You're asking if he's canceled? You can literally just go on Twitch or YouTube and like check his channel. What do you mean? Like, why are you asking Twitter? Isn't he canceled? It doesn't matter. We don't want any peanut. Actual bad person.
Jeez.
Does Epic Games do background checks at all? Or are y'all just okay with adding bigots to the game? LOL, how is this possible? Dude, how is that post possible? You don't even have the terminology right. You just sound so whiny. Even if you don't like the burnt peanut at all, even if you hate the burnt peanut, it's hilarious that this number of modern audience Twitter police think that like the amount of them are outweighing the burnt peanuts pool. It's just not going to happen. It's like delusional. Hey, we added a racist to the game, but here's a free cosmetic. Okay, that one's kind of funny though. I'm not going to lie. That one's kind of funny. He's really a bad person, man. Extremely racist, homophobic, and just a bad person in general. This isn't good in the slightest. Y'all really should rethink having this
hold
collab.
on. All right. Let's see. Let's see what's the truth behind this. All right, guys, we're gonna look this up. There are claims that the streamer BurntPeanut. Is it burned or burnt? TheBurntPeanut. Wait. There are claims that the streamer TheBurntPeanut is incredibly racist. What do they say?
Huge isn't good in the
racist, homophobic, and is just a bad person in general. What is the truth? As a neutral arbiter, is this the truth about him? Let's see. I'm curious. Yeah, because I can't have someone. I can't have someone being called racist on my watch. You know, that's my thing. Being racist and homophobic is my thing. I can't have him take that from me. Let's see here. All right, so this is a neutral take on it. Claims are not accurate or truthful characterization. They're heavily exaggerated, decontextualized, and amplified by culture war dynamics rather than reflecting a pattern of genuine, deep-seated bigotry or malice. BurntPeanut. Okay, let's see. Specific claims and evidence. Accusations center on a few incidents that resurfaced and intensified after a recent Fortnite thing. Homophobic slur use. He dropped the unbleeped flag slur during the Tarkov stream. He has done a recurring Slur Saturday segment, often with drinking and collaborators, where the group jokes about slurs, saves them for the day, and then uses bleeped offensive language in a loose comedic context. The viral frustration clip from Arc Raiders has him saying that he had to use a slur and then beeping heavily afterwards. Racist adjacent behavior. In a collab stream, Cloak Z nearly said the N-word, slipping toward before saying clankers instead. And the TheBurntPeanut laughed and joked and said, may I remind you, Cloak Z, it's Thursday, referencing that it's not Slur Saturday. Critics frame this as him laughing at or tolerating racism. Some older or edited clips have fueled racist allegations, which he has reacted to on stream. General bad vibe. Oh, my favorite. This one's my favorite. Well, you just give me a bad vibe. Oh my god. Oh my god, when he talks, it makes me feel so uncomfortable. Past AT&T profile pic backlash, where critics called him super racist. Some portray his edgy style as toxic. These clips exist and are real. He has used the F slur on stream and leans into crude, offensive language humor via Slur Saturdays. So it's important context of the evidence. He participates in edgy gamer humor, not ideology. Slurs function as generic frustration insults or shock value jokes among friends, not targeted hate. Slur Saturday appears to be a deliberate bit. Alcohol-fueled banter where they joke about language rules. And they save edgy words for the night and they just go loose. Defenders argue parts are literally slurring speech from drinking. It's crude and not for everyone, but it's performative comedy. Again, that's the context. The Cloak C clip, Peanut laughed after his friend almost said the N-word, and it's a meta joke about the day of the week because it wasn't Slur Saturday. Edited clips and amplification, that there have been publicly reacted to racist allegations from edited clips, out of context shorts being spread. Yeah, classic. No deeper evidence of bigotry. Searches turn up no pattern of him repeatedly using hard slurs in hateful rants. And see, this is the important part, because I actually, I have a very nuanced take on slurs, honestly. I'm going to engage with nuance, guys are going to engage. But there is a little bit of nuance here, right? Because, obviously, if you're using slurs at all people of a specific race because you hate them, because you hate all people of that specific race, then obviously that's racist. But if you're using it in the context of any other way, so like say like, you know, just because you're a white person and you sing a rap song that has the N-word in it doesn't mean that you're racist. It means you're singing a song. It just has to do with the context of the situation, obviously, right? If you're using it in a if you're using certain words, which are, by the way, these are words that have been used in gaming, have been used in the past, not for their racial context, but as like a expletive, really, just a random it's like saying fuck. It's like when you say fuck, do you really mean that you want to stick you that do you really mean that you're trying to like, you know, PIV somebody, right? Or you're trying to get dick inside of you? That's not what it means. People say fuck not for the meaning of what fuck means. They say it as a expletive. It is just like fuck, damn it, like shit, you know what I mean? Like you're not literally saying, like, when you say shit in that way, you're not literally saying like excrement on the ground, right? Like everybody knows this, that it's just it's like it's the equivalent of this. It's literally that. It's that without having to physically punch a thing, but it's effectively the same thing, right? Or when you call somebody, like, you know, like for instance, you know, gamers would use any sort of slurs, like, you know, the N-word. They don't literally mean that, because you have people getting called the N-word that aren't even black. So it's kind of like, it's very obviously not that, right? But again, nuance, right? There are cases in which that could be true. I'm not saying everybody that says the N-word is not a racist. Obviously, there are people that are racist that use the N-word in those ways. So again, the context matters, and this drives me up a fucking wall, that people don't understand that the context matters in these things. It's the same reason I got banned for saying the word monkey, right? Like, it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, obviously monkeys are a thing that exists as an animal. Duh. Right? So the idea that you cannot, the idea that because a certain race of individuals are not even a certain race, a certain subset, tiny subset of that race of people are get incredibly offended at that word monkey, doesn't mean that they're Frieza. I'm just being honest, man. Like, let's not be retarded here. And this is like the problem I have with like kind of a lot of modern society stuff, is like context never matters in anything. It's all performative. Like everybody knows, everyone knows that when a white person sings the N-word, it's because they're singing a song. It has nothing to do with being racist. Everybody knows this. But it's like we just pretend that's not the case so that we can maximally be offended. It's retarded. All right, anyway, let's keep going here. Anyway, so I looked into it, right? Like, I mean, obviously this is an AI thing. I don't have time to like literally research the burnt peanut like on the fly like that much, but AI is generally pretty good about this, especially Grok, because Grok can check X posts. It like is trained on all of the X posts and they can search them. So it has all of the citations here and everything. So there you have it. So is this conclusive proof that he's not racist? Not really, but how the fuck do you prove that? There's no way to prove that. Like, you're proving that proving that a person isn't a thing in their heart is like, how do you fucking prove that? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you have like I don't know, someone with like psychometry or something, or telepathy, there's literally no way to like actually determine the origin of a person's belief or the origin of a person's action, right? You can only determine that based on the vector of which like they're traveling, like based on what you know of their goals, what you know of other things that they have confirmed themselves, and their desires. That's the only way that you can really infer the information. It's not inferable by any of this. So inconclusive in my opinion. And saying like, well, you know, he's actually secretly racist is ridiculous. I brought this up before. Like, somebody said this to me about Texas, where like I was like moving when I was moving to Texas. People said, "Oh my God, you're moving to Texas, Leaflit? Don't you know people are racist there?" And I said, "What?" And so like I moved here, right? And I said, you know, actually, everyone in Texas is super fucking nice. Like, people are super nice. Like in Texas, like I have anything. In fact, the only time the only time people were racist against me ever, like actually like in public for like no reason. You know, obviously people say racist stuff just for jokes, right? Like, you know, obviously, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, people make jokes. They're like fucking ching chong and stuff, and they're like, you know, why don't you go bomb the harbor? You know, just like jokes, right? It's whatever, right? I don't count that, right? But the only time I've ever had random people like shout racist shit at me was in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, and it was black people. That was like the only time, and it was like random racism. Like, I don't even know these people. I don't have anything to do with them. They just fucking attacked me for no reason. You know what I mean? And it anyway, that's like the only time. So anyway, so like in Texas, right? I have never had a bad experience with anyone in terms of that. Like, in fact, I gotta say that people in Texas are far more polite than people in California. All right, so what I said was I told people, actually, in Texas, my experience as a person who is from California, lived in California my whole life, moved to Texas, people in Texas are nicer and more polite than they are in California. And you want to know what the response was? The response was, well, actually, they're really racist. You just don't know it because they're saying it behind your back. How the fuck do you disprove that? Like, how do you even disprove that? It is an unfalsifiable claim, right? Anyway, so the point that I'm making is that there's obviously context when it comes to like racism and stuff like that. It's obviously contextual. It's obviously, you know, saying that we're pretty sure that Peanut is racist without like any contextual evidence that goes for that point. What does racism even mean? What does it mean? Racism is when you freaking hate somebody of another race, barring all other information, that the only information you need to know is their race, and that specifically makes you dislike them. That, like, if you were to add more information, it doesn't matter because you just don't like X race, right? That's what it actually means. So saying that you can infer that information from like Peanut making jokes is fucking ridiculous, and everybody knows it. Deep down, like, guys, there's no, okay, I don't know. Am I reaching here, guys, when I say that deep down inside, these people know it? These people know it deep down. There's like no way they're that retarded, right? Like they must know deep in their heart that this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. This is all performative bullshit. There's no way that they actually think that. Like, they actually think that they can derive from a person saying the N-word or whatever slur in a completely context outside of like using it as using it to insult somebody, that you could derive like the actual understanding of like if a person likes that type of person or not. Race, sexuality, all of that stuff. Right? And again, I'm not saying that you can't hate people in general. Well, not hate. That's kind of a strong word. I'm not saying that you can't be wary of people in general based off of percentages, obviously. Obviously, I mean, I've said this before, that prejudice is okay, right? Where it becomes not okay is when you're presented with additional information that is stronger evidence than your initial prejudice, right? So you have your initial layer of prejudice. You're like, okay, what are the odds that this person is gonna fucking rob me, right? And then you take that, you add it all up in your head, subconsciously, obviously, like your brain is crazy like that. You're like a freaking LLM in your brain, right? So you automatically just, you see the pattern, you calculate everything up subconsciously, and you make a determination of like, am I in danger here if I continue on this path that I'm going? Now, if you're presented with more information and then you still stick on the path because you think that that's all that matters is their race, then you're probably racist. Do you see the difference? And I don't know why people treat this like it's fucking rocket science. I just don't understand it, you know? Yeah, I hope that kind of explains like how I think about this stuff. And I just find it ridiculous. I find all of these woke people to be just very dishonest. I find it to be very dishonest.
Lightest. Y'all really should rethink having this collab.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, 72 Archetypist, for the 100. No, they actually think that. I know that. I know how they think better. I know how they think better. Wait, what? The 99% of humanity? Drew, thank you so much for the 1,000, by the way. Drew, thank you. Not gonna lie, Leaf, the most bigoted D-bags are men in California, and my whole family is from the South. Yeah, I mean, the thing is right, it's like culturally based, right? And this is what was the message in my song, is that it's culturally based, right? Just because, like, I'll give you a good example, right? There are several factors when you observe a person that are more telling as to, like, their intentions than their race. Sure, their race is like a calculation that you can add. It's like a tertiary information. It doesn't actually inform as to like the highest percentage chance. I'd say honestly, like, projection of like fashion is actually the biggest tell. Like how a person carries themselves, how a person decides to project their image onto you, actually is the biggest tell of like whether or not they're gonna do something. Yeah. Again, and I give the same example, is like if you have like a gangbanger who is black, and then you took those exact same clothes and you put them on like, you know, like a Latino or a white person, then it's sort of the same body. It's the same threat level, really. It's a slight difference, but it's like the amount of difference is so low in that case when you have such a loud indicator. Do you understand my point? Because like obviously, and this was like the point in the song, obviously if you like were walking across the street and you saw like a black person that was wearing like gang outfit, let's not even use a black person, let's say like a Mexican person, you know, wearing like a gangbanger outfit, that's obviously fairly threatening. But then if you saw Morgan Freeman like walking across the street towards you, you wouldn't freak out, right? Like the idea that like Morgan Freeman could possibly gank you is like ridiculous. Like nobody thinks that the percentage of that is high, right? And that's kind of the point that I'm making.
Disappointment. Still problematic. I literally never watched them, and all I know about them is racism and anti-LGBT.
That's how Morgan Freeman gets you. Okay, so like obviously the chances aren't 0%, but I'd say you're probably relatively safe. You can't live on like small odds, like scaring the shit out of you. That's how you get parents who don't let their kids play outside and stuff, right?
They're problematic. That's pretty telling. It goes on and on. There are hundreds of angry posts responding to this news of a peanut dude being added to Fortnite. These are the real issues plaguing.
Depends on whether Freeman has a crowbar. Okay, well, that's my point, right? Sky of Chroma. Sky of Chroma says, depends on whether Morgan Freeman has a crowbar. Yes, the crowbar increases the odds significantly of him hurting you. It increases the risk significantly. That's the point, right? The crowbar itself is the thing that projects the risk. It's not the skin color of the person. Do you understand? Like just because the skin color does project a risk, obviously, because that's statistics. But it's not a strong enough of an indicator compared to other things. Oh, it's a Half-Life joke? Okay, I didn't play Half-Life, so. Cheshire, hi, Top. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you.
Society in this modern time. You probably noticed that none of the people complaining about this stuff actually posted any evidence of what they're so offended about.
Sorry, just one more thing to go on. And by the way, this like way of thinking is the reason I think I'm less racist than leftists, because leftists will take an immutable characteristic like man or white, and then they will immediately use it as like the highest form, as the highest indicator of a thing. They do it all the time. I don't even have to prove it. Like, everybody knows it. Syrians Bottoms, thank you so much for that 100. Thank you. Sometimes I get scared by my cousins because they were raised in Inglewood. Dude, Inglewood is rough, dude. I used to work around there. Fucking hell. And look like stereotypical cholos. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, that area is really scary, man. Like, what is it? Inglewood. That's where I used to work, I think. Let me check. Let me make sure, because I keep confusing like two different places. All right, let me look at the map here. I'm pretty sure this is where I used to work. At Inglewood. Is this Inglewood right here? Okay, never mind. I didn't work in Inglewood. Sorry, my bad. It was a different place. It was hold on. It was also like equally scary. I used to work at, okay, here's Inglewood. So it wasn't Inglewood, it was, okay, here's where I used to work. Where's the Popeyes? Where is the Popeyes? All right, so hold on, wait, where's the freeway? Okay, here's the 405. Here's Inglewood. Okay, wait, was it? No, it wasn't. Wait, maybe it was. Okay, here, okay. All right, there's the mall I used to get lunch at. Okay, it was Inglewood. Just kidding, guys. Yeah, I used to work right next to Inglewood because I used to go there all the time. I used to drive through there. Really fucking scary, man, dude. That Popeyes is holy fuck. We used to draw straws on who had to go to Popeyes to pick up food. Because it was so, dude, it would be like 2 a.m. It'd be 2 a.m. at work. And like we're pushing out a patch. So like everybody, you're staying there late because you have to make sure that the patch doesn't blow up the servers, right? You gotta have like one of each type of worker on, and I was there for design, so like I would be there working as the on-call designer. Well, not on-call, like in-office designer. So I had to fix like the design issues if there was like a really bad bug or something like that, right? And we go into this place, and I'm telling you guys, bulletproof glass everywhere. Like it's like a bank. The Popeyes is a bank in Inglewood. It's unreal. Anyway.
Issues plaguing society. Peanut dude being added to Fortnite. These are the real issues plaguing society in this modern time. You probably noticed that.
What coding language do you like the most? I don't know shit about coding. A lot of people don't know this, but like game designers and game engineers are not the same. They can be the same person, but they're not always the same person. So yeah. It's a very common misconception.
I'm just gonna pass over the fact that she never played Half-Life.
Yeah, I never played it.
Shock.
I never played it. Thank you, Radioactive. Thank you for the 420. And thank you, CB Linny, for the Prime as well. Yeah. Designer and developer. Well, it's the same. Well, okay. We've had this before, like this argument before. Designers and so developer is like it's the umbrella category of people that put input into a game, and designers are one such type of that. Basically, like you put in the designer, the engineer, the creative writing people, the sound designers, the artists, they'd all be under that, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know anything. I'm using Gemini right now. Gemini 4.5 fast. Flash is what I'm using right now. Anyway.
None of the issues plaguing society in this modern time. You probably noticed that none of the people complaining about this stuff actually posted any evidence of what they're so offended about.
Yeah,
so I kind of just had to look up like burnt peanut, racist, burnt peanut, homophobic.
I literally did that.
Right,
I literally did that.
Evidence of what they're saying the guy is and like what he's done. Here's one thing that popped up titled "TheBurntPeanut got so upset he started dropping slurs."
Oh no!
This got 5.2 million views on Twitter back in February, and this response got 15,000 likes saying, "Why is it covered in Nazi symbols?" So presumably they're talking about the lightning bolts that he's wearing and saying it's like looking like the Schutzstaffel or something. Here's the clip. You can take a look at this for yourself and hear for yourself what he's saying. Again, it's captioned like he's dropping slurs, and then he's actually using a what's it called, like a sound effect of the censored beep sound.
Wow.
No, this is not nice, jackass! They're racist! Peanut racist! That's it, I'm using a slur. That's it, I'm using a slur.
He's ulting. He's ulting.
I'm using a slur. That's it. That's it. Fuck
I was just
those
checking it. Oh, stand back.
flimsy pieces of... I hope those fucking die. Pieces of shit.
Endgame.
Pieces of crap. In the game. In the game.
And there you go. That's the clip. Now, I don't find the humor funny to me. It's very low bar humor. But I also don't find it offensive at all either.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, but what about the Schutzstaffel thing? Well, there was this response. Reads, these are not SS lightning bolts. They aren't even shaped right. They're a caffeine gummy he's sponsored by.
This is like people that go to Japan and be like, man, they got these maps in Japan have Nazi symbols all over. They've got Nazi encampments or whatever. It's like the same shit, man. Because they see like the thing that the swastika is based on. Yeah, the symbol. I forget what it's called. Yeah, manji. They see the manji and they're like, oh man.
OP says ignorance is bliss. And then the other person says, I don't even watch the dude. I'm just not a moron. Find an actual brain cell and use that energy to go after actual racists.
Yeah, it's like every military uniform is also Nazi, right? If you have like the hat, like if you have that specific type of hat, like every single one like that, you know?
And then it looks like some point after that, the OP locked down the responses, closed the replies. Now here's something actually funny. Person telling the OP to go like deal with actual racists and call them out, and their response is just lock the entire thread. No, I can't do that.
Yep,
That takes
fucking
actual
blown
effort.
up.
Let me just be a performative Twitter cop trying to get likes on social
Yep.
media. That's
So
my
many.
real goal. You're not supposed to notice. And we have similar energy with this exchange. They're back on the lightning bolt thing. So this person says, so the burnt peanut can do the it's not that deep bit while hiding the fact he also follows a bunch of MAGA accounts.
Okay, and
If a streamer plays the I'm not political card,
and so like he can't follow like a person that like he can't follow people because of their politics. It's
they're
ridiculous.
9 out of 10 times a conservative. The OP says, this is
Okay,
the same
and?
with every single centrist ever. But then they get a response from this person that says, you sound like a Nazi, not gonna lie. And all you see is the OP locking the response again after that. And that's the
man.
latest. I'll leave it there. As always, thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.
All right, that was a good one. Classic turning an 8-minute video into like 4 times the length though. With like a hyper rant that's just like insanely long. All right, guys, how long were we there? 8-minute video to 45 minutes? Really? Damn, I'm a legend. All right, I'll link you guys the video.
I scream.